guys, welcome back to the 2TAKES podcast with Shannon and April. Today's topic is accountability. Where does accountability lie? Everywhere, on everyone. But in particular, the two topics that come up are self-accountability and keeping others accountable, depending on the hats that you wear in your business. So when I work with business owners, they're like, gosh, how do I put in accountability for myself to get things done for myself, things I know I need to do to move forward? Because oftentimes what happens is holding ourselves accountable, there's no repercussions, immediate repercussions, unless we put them in place for ourselves. If we don't get X, Y, Z done, who reprimands us? Like, what's the punishment? What's the pain point? Eventually it will come. Eventually it will come. But you think about that, like when we do taxes, there is a pain point. There is someone holding us accountable. It is a day. We were just talking about taxes, whatever it may be, an outside source to put that accountability on us. But when we put self-accountability, what happens is oftentimes we have to put systems in place and we have to be very intentional about it. And third is it's okay to have an accountability partner. It could be a coach, it could be a coworker, it could be a spouse, it could be a friend, but being able to articulate what you want to be accountable to accomplish and then putting in those fail safes. And conversely is, yes, there's repercussions of not getting things done, but celebrate when you get things done. Celebrate those accountability goals that you've placed for yourself. There's groups for this, group coaching, peer groups, that sort of thing. But a lot of them are not built around accountability. So if this is an ation that you want to be strong in, you need to be very specific on how you're putting those in place. The second topic around accountability always stems, like in the management course, is other people being accountable. As managers, and I know April will have a take on this, is keeping them accountable to what they need to do. So number one is, what are they accountable for? Is it clear? Is it articulated? Is it understood by both parties of what they need to be accountable for? It needs to be simple. What are your KPIs, or another catch is OKRs, whatever you call them, your accountability points, what are they? And something that I learned early on is rolling work up. It was very, very easy. If you are a manager or an owner that is a doer, you like to get things done, you like them done a certain way, we tend to let work roll up and allow that accountability to be shifted back on us. And it happens very easily. Hey, Sharon, I was running into this issue. Should I just email that back up to you? Would you like to address that? Would you like to respond to that? Or, I just really didn't know what to do. Could you just let me know how to handle that in the future? But then it landed back in my lap instead of recognizing at that moment going, you've got this. Let's talk about your strategy to deal with it, and rolling it back down. You can see Tilly's in the office with me today. So she's not being very accountable to being nice. So we talk about that, going accountability of ourselves and accountability of those that are on our team need to be intentional, articulated, clear, and defined to make them successful. But accountability is all of those things. So be very deliberate in how you put those into your world. So with that, I'm going to kick it over to April's take on the accountability topic.
And I'm just going to do a tangent really quick before I go into anything else, because Shannon was, I think, veiled in a way talking to me, because I'm a doer also. I know, I'm just kidding. But I am a doer, and I don't like to see people stuck. So I have a tendency to jump in places that I shouldn't. And that's something that I personally am really trying to work on. And Shannon can tell when I've reached my limit, and I'm just like, nope, you're you've got this, you're doing this. I am not taking this on anymore. But lots of times the rolling up will be more subtle. It'll be more, I don't even know what the right word would be, but it's a lot. Oftentimes the rolling up to a manager isn't even a, I don't know what to do with this. Can you handle it? Those words are never said. It'll be, hey, I put this 28-page report together, but I don't know if I did it right. I don't know if the spelling is right. I don't know if everything is where it's supposed to be. Can you take a look at it? Now, if it was a very, very, very vague project description to begin with, I may look at it with that person together, but I will not take it anymore and be like, sure, I'll proofread all 28 pages. I'll make sure that the spelling is correct. No, every program has spell check now. Do your own due diligence. So things rolling back up to you may not be super obvious. They may be in the sense of, hey, you're the expert on this, or you're the one who trained me. Can you help me with this? Can you do this? I know we've had assistants in the past who at times would do half of the work and then ask Shannon to check the rest, which checking the rest meant finishing the work. And when you are already, like in Shannon's case, owner of the business, operating multiple businesses, there's not enough time in the day. And you want to be a helper, and then you wind up being kind of used and abused instead. So that's my side take on that. In regards to self-accountability, I know lots of people out there love, and I've known many people like this, love planners that they carry around with them. Shannon and I have both tried to be that person. I can't tell you how many planners we have purchased, both digital and paper copies, and it just doesn't stick with us. I don't know why. We have tried so hard, and it doesn't happen. With that said, we have, and this is kind of to keep us on track, it's for accountability purposes. It's for if I'm gone for some reason and Shannon needs to know what I'm working on, or vice versa, we can walk into the other person's office and look at this. We have these handy dandy forms here.
Not fancy. It doesn't have to be fancy.
No, it is not fancy. Now it's supposed, now Shannon's going to get on me about this because I don't print front and back. I print single page, but every week, and I use these religiously, and I think Shannon does too. So every week, we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then tasks carried over to the next week. So things basically that didn't get done are in progress, but not finished. This I can handle. And I will put, if I have something personal happening that day, I'll write that at the bottom so I don't forget, even though it's on my Google Calendar or whatever else. But this holds me accountable. It holds my failing memory accountable, because I can literally forget what it is that I'm supposed to do or said I was going to do in the time it takes for me to walk from Shannon's office back to my office. That is my mental state currently, of just not being able to remember anything. So we have these, we encourage our staff to use them. Now, they were much more helpful staff-wise when we had everyone in the building, which we don't anymore. Most of our staff is remote.
Well, and a side note on that, when we implemented that, it actually, we wrote it down, and at the end of every day, we snapped a picture and sent it to our supervisor. So we all knew what our plan was for the next day. Number one, it created accountability to have a plan for the next day. It created a habit because we had to snap the picture. We don't do that anymore because it's habit, but we did that. And then as the supervisor, April could go, oh man, okay, she's prioritizing or he's prioritizing these 3 things for tomorrow, but this came up. I need to rejuggle that. It allowed us to have a little bit of fluid conversations around that. But yeah, it was down to snapping a picture. And
some of that was more lack of accountability on behalf of some staff that we were attempting to train up in that sense. Mm-hmm. We have an online platform that we use now to assign tasks, to communicate in the process of tasks. We can, assign a due date. We can assign it to a specific person or persons. We can put task information in, whatever we want. We can put a priority to it. I will go in usually weekly and go through them all. And if I'm seeing something that looks like maybe someone didn't see it, I'll make a quick note in there. If somebody needs something reviewed, maybe Shannon hasn't had a chance, then I'll make a quick note just to bump it to the top of Shannon's list. That really helps also. So I'm going to categorize this as internal versus external. There's internal things you can do for yourself. There's external things you can do in terms of using some type of task management software. What we use is free.
Yeah. So it's for you guys that need something, ClickUp is what it's called, clickup.com. You can do so much in the free account. I think if it's a paid, it's $5 a seat, super easy. But yeah, implement tools, and it doesn't have to be expensive or fancy.
Right. So I guess my biggest takeaway is on the whole accountability thing. Shannon knows what a pain point it is for me, for people who are not accountable. I am over that really quickly. But find something that works for you, find something that works for your team. And depending on your industry, it may be something wildly different. If you're in the medical industry, then your built-in task manager is going to be whatever your EMR is, basically, that's shuttling your patients through. So don't think you need to add necessarily something on top of that, but having a pre-prescribed list of things that need to be done every day, whatever else the case may be, that can really help streamline things, help things not fall through the cracks. And I go so far as to make notes on my list so that I remember if I'm in the middle of something, but B, also so Shannon would need to come in, she can say, okay, it looks like April's working on this. She's gotten this and this done. She doesn't have this done yet. So we know that it's started, in completion, or in progress, but not completed yet. Yep. But I can tell you, if I don't write stuff down, my accountability level work-wise drops substantially. Also, something I said to Shannon the other day was that she and I both kind of split. Sometimes we're in the office, sometimes we work at home. If I'm working at home, a lot of the work that I can do is cloud-based. It doesn't necessarily have to have a lot of things written down to accomplish it. It's things I know I need to do. Those tend to be the things that I will do at home. So maybe it's reviewing short form copy for all of our clients, or reviewing long form copy for all of our clients, something to that effect that I can easily do at home. But I will leave this here in the office because I know that some of this stuff I can't accomplish at home easily because I don't have whatever it is that I might need at home to do that. It's easier to do it here in the office. And this if I leave this here, I'm not going to remember what's on it. It forces me to be back in here, sitting down with this list, accomplishing the things that have to happen in the office. So.
To wrap this up, I will say that as leaders, as managers, as business owners, whatever hat you feel that you wear, is accountability is a good thing for our own personal growth, the growth of those on our team, because if they grow, our capabilities grow, the way that we can service our clients grow, the amount of clients that we can bring on, all of those things grow. So putting that accountability in place, being intentional about it, allows them to grow their skill set. They will be more satisfied in their job. They will have more pride in what they're doing, and they will be more engaged because they are capable of doing more things. They are challenged. People want to be challenged appropriately. So with that, if you have a negative connotation around accountability, don't. It's essential and it's productive and it is forward moving. So think about how you're going to put your accountability in place for yourself. Allow your team to be accountable to goals and their responsibilities in your organization. With that, if you have any questions about accountability, tips, tricks, want to look up in the description of the clickup.com, not paid to promote it, but it has been super helpful. Passed it along to many people. If that's helpful, please grab your account and put that into action. We will see you in future weeks on the 2TAKES podcast.
Bye.